Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start. I have a slideshow presentation and some video of the kids. So I'm going to share my screen. Whoops, and I guess I got to go back to the beginning. Can you guys see that okay? Was everybody able to see that? Okay,
I can.
Okay, thanks. I just want to make sure. So this is kind of the agenda. We're going to do a short meet the teacher. It's really teachers. Mrs. Sino and I did a little video. Then we'll go over the rules and expectations. And I think classroom tour got moved up. So we'll do a little classroom tour. The kids are giving a little tour. And then the day in the life of a second grader. And then we'll go over what we'll learn and then talk a little bit about homeschool communication and questions and answers. I need to step out for a second and admit someone. No, okay. So Isaac, I'm recording this just to let you know if that's okay. Okay. So this is going to be the agenda. So I'm going to go ahead. This is the first part, meet the teachers. It's a little video Miss Sino and I did.
Hello, I am Miss Sino.
And I'm Mrs. Brown.
And we are your second grade teachers this year. We have been a team for the last 3 years. So this is our third year teaching second grade together here at SA.
And we do what's called parallel teaching. We are always meeting and we're teaching the same lessons on the same days, really checking in with how students are doing and making sure that we're moving at an appropriate pace.
We do all of our planning and our prep work together. So we meet daily after school, before school, and when the students are at specials, and we plan what we are doing for the next upcoming days and weeks. And then we do all of our preparation of materials together.
We work as a mixture. We have a whole grade time, which is usually our EFS time, our Education for Sustainability. And then we also do our regular classroom time together. And then we do some small groups, mixing both classes together.
So just because you're in Ms. Brown's class doesn't necessarily mean Ms. Brown will be your reading teacher. I could have some students in Ms. Brown's class be in my reading groups and vice versa.
Yeah, and we also have several specials teachers that work with us. We have Mr. Fitz and Mrs. Seitz who help with intervention. And we have Mr. Samler who does special ed. And then we have Miss Lenahan and Miss Chaska who help with our EL students. So they could be in any of those groups at any time and we all just work together.
We are just very excited to have such a great group of kids this year and continue to kind of hone our craft and just have a fun year in second grade.
We look forward to seeing how your students are going to progress throughout the year. And I think it's going to be a great year. Welcome to second grade.
All right, so that was Meet the Teacher. Does anybody have any questions after seeing that? We good? We'll keep going then. We'll have questions at the end also. So our classroom and school rules are be safe, be respectful, be responsible, and do your best. We have a positive reinforcement system, which we use, which is the honey money. And there's yellow honey money, which is for classroom earnings. They once they earn one, they put it in the pocket chart. And when they get a certain number, they get some type of a celebration. And it's an increased earning. So the first time they had to earn 100 honey money. So now the next time they're going to have to earn 200 honey money for a celebration. And then Mrs. Oropeza just added in some blue honey money, which is for more common areas like the hallway, lunchtime, recess time, maybe specials classes. And it's a special blue honey money that we earn by class. And if we earn so many, we will get a school-wide celebration. So now we'll have a classroom tour. The students will give you a tour of our room.
Welcome to our classroom. Here's the compass rose with all of our names. Here's the backpack. When we go inside, we hang up our backpacks. And here's a chair when we go to lunch. And here's our honey money chart. Every time when we do good things, we sometimes get a honey money and then we put it in our chart. And here's the mailboxes for reviewing work. Every time we review our work, we put it in here in our mailboxes. Here's the iPads. This is our lunch table, and we can take the food home if we want to. And here is our cleaning chart, and every morning we put our kids on what to do. Just to take a break, see if we get here when we need time to ourselves. Up here we have our classroom rules. And the category is safe, responsible, and respectful to your best. This is the piece place where we come if we're sad, or if we're sad, or if we're a little we need to get calm. We can hear. If you're sad, you can look at the pictures on the wall and see them do that. Also, if you need to get calm, there are noise canceling headphones if it's too loud, or you could pick it with the fidget toy. This is all things we have. And here's all scissors, markers, and basic other stuff. And our home table, we have books. We have a book. We have things to do. And we have lessons, and we have one to do. Here I have first one. I have Play-Doh, magic tiles, and blocks.
Is this for choice time?
Here is the classroom manager's role. Here is light manager, lunch manager, student
Substitute.
manager, messenger, and door.
Lots of other jobs too, right?
Okay, this is our wardrobe who helps us. And there is a nestle if you need help with strategy. And this is our calendar, how many days in school that we have. And since kindergarten, and then this tells us what today is. And then this is the student of the day. This is the one where we come to listen when the teachers talk to me, and we sit down in a square. And this is the desk over here where we have writing stuff, and it's whiteboard desk with a name and this is our homework, and it tells us what to do on the day.
What we're going to learn, right?
This is the teacher's area where we do small scoops, and this is where we charge the iPad.
Show us where.
This is where we charge the iPad. This is the Books and Bodies reading lounge. Here we have a level book. Here are level books. This is where we can fix our books and where we can return our books. And these are some countries. This is our bulletin board. We have a bright year ahead.
All right. So here is our schedule each day. Wednesdays is a little bit different because it's shorter, but we do a welcome and a morning meeting. We have math and then snack. After that, we have our literacy time, which is reading and writing. Then we have a special each day. And then we have a small period of time that we do our whole second grade EFS time. Some days they have learning centers, some days they have guidance. Then we have lunch and recess. After that, we come in and do skills block, and it's where we're learning different reading strategies and vowel teams and syllables. And then we break into small groups to work with students at their just right levels so that we're helping them move forward in their reading. After that, we have another math time where it's called application math, where it's word problems we're working on. The end of the day is our lab, science, and social studies times. The labs go with the literacy units, but we haven't really started those yet. This new program we're doing is called EL Education, and it's really about deeper learning, and it's using texts that are on or above grade level and really delving into them and just trying to understand more complex texts and then writing about them. And the labs are supposed to complement that, but we just haven't had a chance to be able to get there yet. It's a pretty dense program that we're trying to figure out, being the first year. And then we have, by then it's time to pack up and we do our jobs and we go home. So here's a video the kids put together to show you a day in the life of a second grader.
Good morning, Calliope.
My name is Sam.
Good morning, Agnes.
My name is Paul.
Good morning, Paul.
Good morning, Brown.
Hey, it's time for morning work. Make sure you're working on your math now. You can help each other.
Alana with our fabulous tomato plant. Thank you again, Alana. And during that, we learned about the plant life cycle. So think back to that, being outside, Alana's fabulous outfit. And then, see if you can answer this question. Why do plants make seeds? Haven't I?
This is the skills time. We're working on dividing words into syllables. This is the math application, the word problems. This is our literacy time, where we've been reading a book called Off to Class, and it's talking about schools and how some places around the world have a hard time. Kids have a hard time going to school for certain reasons. So we're reading these kind of pretty complex texts and really discussing them and then doing some writing around them. This is a short video of them reading, independent reading time.
My brother is here. My brother is here. My sister is here. I am here. My family.
All right. So this is not a great picture. It's really hard to read. This is what we call our focus wall. And it's where we put up our I can statements, what they should be able to do at the end of each lesson or strive to do. Right here is like the big overarching question. So right now it's why is it hard for some children to go to school in their communities? And then how do communities solve these problems so their children can go to school? So that's like our big questions that goes with our literacy I can and standards and I can statements. So the one I have up now right now says I can answer questions using key details about the solution in Water Everywhere from the book Off to Class. I can write about the solution in the section Water Everywhere using details from the text. And then down here is for our skills block. And what we're working on is I can identify the vowel sounds in a word to find how many syllables are in the word and use that information to decode it. And I can identify the syllable type and spell words with the spelling patterns IGH and IE. Let's click out. And then for math, our lesson tomorrow is I could compare 2 3-digit numbers using the greater than, less than, and equal to signs. So what we'll learn, this is kind of just a brief overview of the year. The morning work that we've been doing is a review of reading, writing, and math skills. They can work together in the morning on those. Math, we are really honing in on place value right now, but we're going to be going, the big part is 2 and 3-digit addition and subtraction with and without regrouping. And we also do an introduction to multiplication. The literacy is the EL program. As I was saying, it's a new program we're piloting this year. There's 4 modules. The first one is schools around the world, is what we're in right now. In about a month, we'll start fossils. And then the third part of the year, we'll kind of do pollinators and learn about different pollinators. And then the end of the year will be providing for pollinators. During the skills block, it's a lot of phonics skills. We're learning vowel teams, syllable types, and we work on some fluency skills also. The labs, as I said, they correspond with the literacy modules and some of our science curriculum, and it's really supposed to help kids delve deeper. So we're hoping we can get some of those up and running soon. We also have a matter unit that we will do for 2nd grade and a social studies, geography, and mapping unit. And then that whole group time when we bring the 2nd graders together, we're doing EFS time, Education for Sustainability, where we're talking about identity, diversity, and justice. So Homeschool Communication, here is my email. Please feel free to email me anytime you have a question or concern. Also, if you haven't connected with Seesaw already, Seesaw is another way for us to communicate. This slideshow is assigned to your student, so they can actually go into their activities and they can watch it and see it. And then also we have the Friday folders. So what questions do you have is the last few minutes. Also, there's links for specialists at the bottom of that link page used to sign in for this if you really would like to look at and talk to one of the other teachers. So what questions do you have? Hi, Noah, how are you?
You were talking about fossils and mapping.
Yes. Are you excited for those?
I have a globe and I have a fossil.
That'll be cool. You'll have to share it with us. Cool. Any other questions or? Hi, Cayenne.
Our does part of the new literacy program include reading in small groups again this year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't really, but we've added it back in because we felt like it was so meaningful, and this new skills program is very complicated. So we're kind of trying to figure it out as we go along. So we'll add pieces of that in, but we did go back to our regular reading groups. And so all the kids are in what we call just right reading groups. So they're in whatever level book that they tested out at. And we're actually starting new testing tomorrow to get new levels on students. And so those groups always like switch up based on what level they're at and where they're headed. So we are doing those again.
Is it same for math too? Is that whole class?
Math
only?
is, well, we have a whole group math time, and then we have a small group math time, but I only have one other person in the room to help me during that time. So some of the students who are kind of ahead of the game a little bit, I introduced them to a new program called Prodigy, and then they've been kind of doing that. I also today started giving them like word problems that they have to work on together, and showed 2 different ways of how to solve them. So I'm trying to find ways to kind of motivate those kiddos who are ready to move on, and then the kiddos who need a little extra support come over with me or with the other teacher also.
We're big Prodigy fans.
I heard.
This is awesome. You can see
Thank
so
you.
much work going into those videos. So I just want to say thank you.
Mhm.
It's really nice to see inside the classrooms after being not allowed in for so long.
I know.
So thank you. And then I guess I just also had a question about like field trips, or I know that they used to go to the Flynn. Do you know if all of those kinds of things are on hold, or if there will be any of that?
I have not heard anything about the Flynn yet this year, so I don't know about that one. We are really going to try to get to Shelburne Farms for maybe some of our regular field trips. Miss Kestrel has been working with the kiddos, and there's now someone from the farm that's coming to do some work with us and the kids, so that we'll hopefully get some of those. And they're also they're going to try to find ways for us to get out in the community and do some like local field trips if we can. So those are our hopes. We're still kind of working on them right now. And, but yeah, hopefully that will take place again. Those were really meaningful. Any other questions? No? Well, great. Thanks so much for coming. And we just found out last Tuesday that we were having an open house. Like it never got put on the calendar. So at the staff meeting, Ms. Orpez is like, oh, by the way, there's an open house next week. And we're like, what? So it was kind of shocking, but it was really nice to be able to put things together and have the kids do it, and let you have a chance to see inside the classroom, since we're not allowed to have families in yet. Love the globe there, Noah. Super cool.
Yeah, that was an awesome way to do the open house. I love that it was so kid driven.
Yeah, we really we kept putting it off because we weren't sure what we wanted to do. And then yesterday we finally met and we're like, okay, and we kind of banged it out today. So great. Well, it's been great to get to know your students. It's a really great group of kids, very caring group of kids. But anytime you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to email me or to send a message through Seesaw. Thank you guys. We'll see you.
Thanks so much.
Yep. See you kiddos later.
Thank you.
Yep. Thanks.